Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming and more Diablo 4. With Season 1 looming ever closer, it's a matter of time before we finally know when it's actually coming, meaning the day and date. In that season, we expect a lot of improvement updates and improvements to the game, of course. But even more importantly, new content to work on as we make our seasonal characters to level them up from 1 all the way to 100 once more. So that'll be an exciting time. We're expecting to learn a lot more about it in the upcoming dev livestream on July 6th. The stream is said to cover Season 1, unveiling the many meaty details of what is coming to the game next. We also hope that, within that stream, we will get our release date. But going into Season 1, what are the details to know to prepare? To just say it, so I've said it, complete the campaign. Probably all of us have done that by now, but you will need to have at least beaten it once, even on World Tier 1, before they'll let you go into Season 1, so know that. Next, seasonal characters. We'll be going into the new season knowing that we're going to make a new seasonal character or characters. This means you're going to be going in fresh, without any of your gear and so on that you've collected currently. Though upon hearing that, there were some concern that that means you're going to be losing everything you've already worked on, like your current characters and everything you have. Well, you're not going to lose that. Basically, imagine you've got two types of characters. Your everlasting sort of permanent characters, and they're on their own servers, and then your separate seasonal characters. So seasonal characters exist per season. At the end of each season, let's say Season 1, they'll be moved to your permanent characters list, so you won't lose them, and this does mean that if you want to completely ignore seasons, you can. Moving on, when should we expect Season 1? Well, Season 1 is said to launch sometime between mid to late July, which again, we're hoping for an actual date for that launch in the dev stream on July 6th. At a guess, we're thinking the 3rd or 4th week of July is very likely though. As far as how long the season will last, they've claimed each season will last roughly 3 months or so we can expect that for Season 1. The last thing to note in prep for Season 1 is the question of will you need to reveal the map again and collect all the Lilith statues and do all the Renown? Yes and no. Thankfully, the map you reveal will remain revealed. And much as it does now when you make a new character, you should keep your main city waypoints at the very least. And this is the same, thankfully, for the Lilith statues, meaning all of their stat rewards will come forward, thankfully. Further, we'll be keeping the Renown that all of this offers, so Lilith statues, the region reveals, and the Renown from that, making this all the more worth doing on one character before the season drops. So if you've been putting that off, I would really recommend you get that done. It does seem though we'll be doing things like strongholds and side quests and the rest to reach 5 levels of Renown in each region, but it seems we'll have a sort of boost from the Lilith statues and the area reveals. Next then, what do we know is coming in Season 1? Firstly, new content. There's going to be new quest lines to follow, further class and balance changes, new aspects and uniques, all the stuff you'd expect to shift up the current meta basically. Each season will come with a new theme, and there will be the new story to support that. The story though, will be temporary per season and only playable during its season. They've said with that in mind that these seasonal stories are going to feature both new and returning characters, but any true major story leading to say the next expansion, that's going to be separate and be permanent. Is there going to be a new class in Season 1? Well, if you're thinking that, you may have misunderstood a tweet, because otherwise you're probably thinking, yeah, no, they've not said anything about that. If you've heard that, it's probably from someone who's misread a tweet by Adam Fletcher in regards to the upcoming dev stream, which Fletcher talked about, saying that it's going to feature the new class coming to Diablo Immortal, and then for Diablo 4, it's all about Season 1. Somehow, a good chunk of people have read that as though there's a new class confirmed for Diablo 4, despite that not being what was said, and Fletcher clarifying that he's not saying that in the comments, which is a funny read. It's gotta be tiring to say anything and people seem to intentionally misunderstand it. Next, we have the Battle Pass, which finally launches in Season 1. This apparent optional content has its free and paid versions. Each Battle Pass is going to have 27 free tiers and then 63 premium ones. They're claiming that any pass-related power benefits will be excluded from any paid or accelerated tiers, so that's good. We can earn cosmetics and smoldering ashes from the free tiers. Smoldering ashes are a resource that we will then spend on seasonal blessings. And while we don't know the full scope of season blessings, there is this early screenshot that shows us 4 out of the 5 things that we can unlock. This comes from a screenshot they've shown, which at the time was not final, so it could of course be different now. These blessings will provide a variety of bonuses, such as improved XP from monster kills, the amount of gold that you earn from selling to vendors, boosts to your chance of rare materials from salvage, and boosts to duration of elixirs, alongside a 5th one we don't know yet. But it's good to know that we will have improvements to, how much gold we can earn and how much XP we can actually get in the new season, and it seems it's up to us to choose what we focus and prioritize and at which point. But we can also get it from seasonal objectives, which will be a new thing to do every season. Seasonal objectives are still a vague concept to us. We might hear about that more in the stream, but it seems there's going to be 7 chapters to a season and rewards at the end of each chapter and specific objectives to complete in each chapter. That is obviously mega early as a chapter, and the objectives are going to be very easy. So you'd assume that they get harder, but offer better rewards as you go. Having said that, it appears that there will be a legendary aspect rewards from this, so maybe that is the way, or one of the ways anyway, to unlock those new aspects. And lastly, for this last section of the video, I want to talk about what we probably want to hear in this upcoming dev livestream about Season 1. What are some of those major improvements to the game that we all want? The section in the stream for Diablo 4 is said to be roughly 45 minutes long, which will follow after a 15-minute-ish section from Diablo Immortal first, so the majority of the live stream is going to be about Diablo 4 and Season 1. What do we want to hear in that stream though? Well, obviously the launch date of the season, but here's my main 3 things. 1. Massive stash improvements. I want way more than double space. I want probably more than 10 times the space. Not only that, but I want a unique stash for each character and then a shared stash. It is ridiculous that we have so little space right now. Then obviously the benefits of function and features. Give us a search bar so we can search for, specific aspects. Give us new filters and ways to organize it. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just organize by aspect so we could easily compare them instead of having to manually find them and organize it ourselves every single time? Also, I currently have 8 bank alts just to improve my space. Then I've had to organize their individual inventories so I can keep track of everything. Which, means I'm stuck swapping characters to go find the specific uniques or aspects that I've saved. Or say some of my characters just being dumping grounds for ancestral rares that I might use in a different build. So right now what we're dealing with is, in my opinion, unacceptable. And I hope that, stash improvements happen before Season 1. I don't see an excuse for us not having 10 times the space right now. Next, I want to see some form of loadout, build saves, build swapping, make the swap expenses much less. And I also want improved respecking functionality. So you know how we can refund all of our skill tree instantly for a pretty hefty cost? Why can we not do that for our Paragon points? We have to individually right click, go back through all the Paragon. And that's way more backing through individually for the Paragon compared to the skill tree. But it'd also be cool if maybe we could refund the individual boards, go to the previous gate, instantly pulling out a single board rather than all of them. In regards to loadouts, I don't necessarily know what I want to see. The concepts that I would like is if I had 5 builds that I play on my Necromancer, I want to be able to load those up and swap to it instantly. I don't want to have to go manually scroll through Bank Alt 6 to find the 4 pieces that he's holding, put them in my shared stash, swap over, grab them, put them on. Okay, that's one part of the swap done. Now I've got to do my skill tree. I can refund all of that, but it's mega expensive. Okay, now I'll do my Paragon points. I've got to individually right click every single node. Let me just take 15 minutes to do that. And then now fill these things in now that I've, reset. It's just terrible. So if we don't hear about some sort of improvement to this process, which, they've not even hinted at to my knowledge, I'm going to be really sad. Then third, I would just like any improvements to alt mechanics in general. There was this post on the Diablo 4 Reddit by Sin, or S1NH if I've mispronounced that, who talks about a level cap on gear requirements being a really logical thing. If you've played an alt, you'll have experienced this yourself. It's an item that might be useful for your alt that dropped on your higher level character, which unfortunately means its required level to be able to be equipped will be whatever level you found it as. Further, that applies to pulling aspects from legendaries to imprint. It'll actually change the required level to use an item. Say you found a level 80 legendary item, you've extracted the aspect, and you're going to put that on, say, a level 60 rogue chest piece. That is going to change it from a level 60 required to a level 80 required as soon as the aspect's imprinted, which is strange and sucks. Sin had a simple and smart suggestion. Sacred Rares should have a capped level requirement of 50 or so. Ancestral Rares can have a higher cap, like 60 to 70. And then Uniques and Special Legendaries, that could vary, but maybe a fair cap would be 80. That would make the already pretty painful experience a bit smoother. When it comes to the specific Season 1 details, I guess we just really want to see them actually reveal the details of what they're hiding. The full rack of the Battle Pass and how it's really going to work. How are seasonal blessings going to work? How heavily are they actually going to statistically alter things? When it comes to, say, season objectives, what are going to be the things that we're going to be doing at the late game beyond, objectives such as clear 7 dungeons? I want to see a bit more than that. If we could take a look at, say, some of the new aspects coming to each class, that would be really exciting, and maybe reveals of other things like maybe new uniques. In terms of the theme for this season, details on that, and what the story is going to focus on, who's going to be involved, that would be cool too. Of course, there's a lot to hope for, and we're really just kind of wondering what they're going to talk about because there's so much that we want to hear about. But there you have it. That is my overview of Season 1, what you can do now and know going in, what we knew was going to be in Season 1 and some details about that, and what I personally would like to hear about in that upcoming stream alongside all the actual details of Season 1. If you have any good Season 1 ideas then, let us know in the comments, and of course we'll be back to cover that stream when it happens with the important info. For now then, I've been Hollow, you've been you, thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.